Jimmy.
Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil, doesn't make up.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I wanna turn on this Becky quick. While the average man looking at this sad like she fine as I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5'6". I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stock pick. I know that booty got dry, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-Wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot keys. Strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater. Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounce. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the fun, open up some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them passes and stop. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL, make profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, she pull the trigger and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? Hey, make profits. Hey, Suge, Mike, what we doing? Hey, make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? Hey, make profits. That TTG money gang, making profits. We some snipers.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. Hope you all had a wonderful day. I've been sick the last 2 days, but I actually feel a little bit better right now as I'm doing this live stream, so that's a positive. It's a plus. Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream, folks. My name is Michael Edward Parinati. I go by Michael Edward. I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group. In case you guys didn't know, we were a Benzinga FinTech Awards finalist for the best data analysis tool last year, and we're also currently the fastest growing and highest rated premium online educational platform that combines university level trading and investing courses with premium stock market tools, live workshops, individual mentorship, and coaching on stocks, options, and crypto and futures. We day trade, we swing trade. We also cover long-term investing. There's literally something for everybody in True Trading Group. Now, when you join, we at TTG, we take that university level of curriculum. We combine it with today's top financial tools. These are things that are worth over $5,000 a year on their own. You're going to get Benzinga Pro's real-time news feed, congressional trading data, insider trading, trading views charts, trade idea scanner, unusual options activity, options flow, dark pool data, so much more that I'll talk about later on in this stream. Sorry about that, guys. Oops. Getting stuff ready here on my end. But yes, of course, when you guys join TTG, you're going to get access to all of our courses, all of our trade alerts, but you guys are also getting these tools. So this is going to be, I'm sorry, I'm going over, I'm getting messages right now from the back end of our production team with this live stream, because we're supposed to have some big changes that were made today, and the changes are not ready. So I'll get into that, guys, in just a little bit. You also get access to all of our members, the most educated, helpful, supportive, and successful community of traders that you're ever going to find, not to mention the real-time trade alerts from myself and the THD fam that have been able to maintain a cumulative win rate on all of our executions of just around 80%, now going on roughly the last 3 years. If you are wondering why you should listen to anything it is that we talk about on this YouTube channel, guys, it's because I did not figure this stuff out on my own. I began my trading career working at T3 Alpha Fund, my first job right out of college in New York City, where they had me go through an educational training program before they had me touch $1 of the fund's money. And then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession and the stock market crash, but also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. So now you fast forward, I'm the co-founder and the head trader of True Trading Group, and along with my team of 9 other professional trading mods and an over 30-person staff, we've helped thousands of members from all over the world reach their goals. We actually have members in 115 different countries, truly a global community here at TTG. So if you're ready to learn, trade, and profit for real, you've come to the right place. 6 nights a week, Sunday through Friday, we go live on this channel where myself and other TTG pro trading mods and special guests will drop golden nuggets, give you free lessons, education, trade ideas, and commentary that can help you all become better traders, period. So if you have not yet done so, smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, turn on your notifications, make sure you never miss out on any of these live streams. We're dropping golden nuggets on a regular basis. So let's get into it here today, guys. You got a lot happen today. A lot happened in the market today, and I'm going to try not to make this. I'm going to, like I said, I've been battling something for the last 2 days. I have like a bad sinus infection. I'm not going to try to make this live stream quick so I can get to bed nice and early tonight, because I want to make sure that I'm back 100% for the end of this week, because you have a very important catalyst coming up to close out this week, and that's the labor report. Jerome Powell testified in front of Congress today. One of the things that Jerome Powell actually said was that he would have to see a significant surprise increase in unemployment in order to get the Fed to cut rates anytime in the near future. So every single piece of labor market data that we get from here on out is going to be extremely important. Now, I've been saying this for probably the last month or so now, that it's coming down to the labor market, and the economy has held up way better than anybody had expected. The jobs market has held up way better than anybody had expected. I don't think there's a single economist in the world that, if you talked to them a year ago, that by March of 2024 would say that the unemployment rate is still underneath 4%. That is insanely historically low. So the fact that we're still sitting right near 5-decade low unemployment, which was like 3.4, 3.5%. The last read we got the last couple of months has fluctuated between 3.7 and 3.8%. You're right near those lows. You are literally right near those lows. Excuse me. And here we are, months and months and months after, years after the Fed actually started their rate hike cycle, and months after they've paused that rate hike cycle. I don't think there's anybody that would have told you that, or would have felt comfortable saying that by March you'd have a less than 4% unemployment rate. It's just been unbelievable. But with that being said, the labor market and the labor data is the last piece to crack. Always. That's just how the economy works. Every time that there's ever been a recession in the past, every time everything looks great, looks okay, jobs market then cracks, and there's your recession. I'm not saying that that's going to be the case here now. I actually think that I've seen enough from the economy, and I've seen enough from AI and earnings, and I've seen enough from inflation to feel like the chances of the Fed pulling off a soft landing have become the most probable scenario that we're going to see. I think you might have a growth scare at some point here in the near future, but I think it's just going to be a growth scare, meaning I don't think you're going to actually go into a recession. And I think the Fed's going to be able to pull off that soft landing. At least that's what all of the data points to right now. And I would say that I'm not saying that it's not possible that you have the recession. Of course, it's definitely still possible if the Fed keeps rates too high for too long. there's whispers of people saying now, well, maybe the Fed doesn't even cut rates at all this year. If that's the case, then I think you will see a recession by 2025 if the Fed does not cut rates at all. I think that would be the mistake. I think that would send the economy into a recession to keep rates where they are for that long. But I don't think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to cut rates going into the second half of this year. You might get your first 25 basis point rate cut sometime this summer. And I think that's probably the most probable scenario. And you'll have a little bit of a growth scare mixed in there, but then soft landing becomes a little bit more confirmed. And then that little growth scare gives you one last little pullback before the markets then climb themselves back up towards their all-time highs, which is right where we currently sit now. I think that's the most probable scenario. Especially going into the election year. So I think that's probably what we're going to be looking at here. So every single week from here on out, jobless claims data, which is data that you get every single Thursday, is going to be very, very important, because the weakness in a crack or a softening in the labor market will first show up in the jobless claims data. At least that's how it typically works, because the jobless claims data is every single week. The jobs report is once a month. So usually you start to see, let's say the expectation is 225,000 jobless claims, and the number comes in at 252,000. You're like, oh, that's a little bit higher than what was expected. Then the next week it's expected 228,000, and it comes in 267,000. And then it's expected 238, and it comes in 290. And you're like, okay, whoa, now you're starting to see this crack and this weakening in the labor market. And all of a sudden you get the unemployment rate, which follows. And then maybe the unemployment rate was expected to be 3.8 and it came in at 4.0 or 4.1. That is what would start. That is the data that you would have to start to see in order for the markets to start to get worried about the jobs market. And if the market gets worried about the jobs market, then therefore you would start to get worried about a recession. And you would start to see at that point the probability of recession go up. Not to say that it becomes the most probable scenario, but the probability of it starts to rise. And then you'll probably see then the expected rate cut from the Fed starts to get pulled forward, because that would scare the Fed into saying, okay, we've kept rates too high for too long. It's time to cut. In the very next Fed meeting, the market would start pricing in a 25 basis point cut from the Fed now that they've seen the labor market begin to weaken. That's the data that you'd have to look for in order for the markets to really start to pull back on that fear. We're not there yet. Now we're going to get jobless claims data tomorrow. We're going to get the employment report on Friday, which is the new unemployment rate. So we'll see how all that data comes out. But for now, the markets are still firmly in an uptrend. Okay, firmly in an uptrend. We've been inside of this channel now for the whole entire start of 2024. And it's still very much intact. And if you guys have been following my channel here for the last couple of weeks, you know that this is something that we've been talking about ad nauseum and just explaining to people. Just continue to trade inside of this channel until the channel breaks. Hey, Sandra says hello from New Jersey. Hello from New Jersey, right back at you. Yes, I am in New Jersey myself, in case you didn't pick that up on my New Jersey accent, I guess. But this is the upward sloping channel that we have been in for the entirety of 2024. And you just have to keep playing it. You know, you just have to keep playing the channel. You get to the top end, you look for pullbacks. You get to the bottom end, you look for bounces. I do think that the market is getting to a point where we're a little bit overbought, not quite. And I just think you're going to get a profit take pullback once this channel breaks. And I don't think that you need some kind of massive catalyst to cause that profit take pullback to break this channel. But for now, you just don't try to anticipate the break of the channel. Just keep playing it until it actually does. Wait for this, right? Wait for the break of that channel for you to then start to say, okay, well, on bounce attempts, then you can try to look to actually get short, look for a bigger pullback. But until that level breaks, you just continue to play the support end of this channel. And every time you get to the downside, you look for that little bit of a pop back to the upside. Okay. So we're going to do something here on this live stream today. That is a new segment that I have done with a lot of excitement from viewers, and you guys have really enjoyed this. And it's a segment that's called Grade My Stock. Okay. Grade My Stock is a segment that I've been doing, which is where I come on the the stream. I pull up my charts. We go over, whatever stocks that you guys want to discuss and whatever stocks that you guys want to cover. And I give you a grade on a particular stock. Now, that grade that I'm giving is not a grade necessarily for a day trade. It's kind of a little bit of a longer term grade. And I give my reasons why I give a stock an A, a B, a C, or an F, right? F meaning, I would never touch it. I think the stock's going lower. A meaning it's got solidified itself as kind of a permanent spot in my long-term portfolio. And then everything kind of mixed in there in between. I give you my reasons behind the grade for that stock. And people have really enjoyed that. I've done it a few times now over the last couple of weeks. And that's something that we're going to be doing here again today. All right. But before I get into the grade of my stock, I do want to touch upon kind of some levels in the market, some trade ideas that we have going into tomorrow. And these are some of the things that I want to focus on, because the levels that we've been really going through, and I'm going to delete this channel for now, just to kind of clean up the chart a little bit. I'm going to delete this channel but you guys all see the channel, right? Everyone sees that. So I'm just going to delete that. And I want to go over some very important key levels with you, because to the untrained eye, you might look at the chart that's here to my left, and you might not there might not be necessarily any levels that really stand out to you. But to me, there are very clearly defined levels that I want everybody to be paying attention to. And inside of True Trading Group, we have a futures trading group, and then we've got also the other regular chat room. So we have a chat room where we trade equities and options, and then there's another group that trades futures. Now, the levels that have been in play for the last 2 days have been absolutely perfect to the point where almost to the penny these levels are holding, and you can structure your longs and your shorts against these levels. These levels are very much still in play, and they're live for tomorrow. Okay, these are live levels for tomorrow. When I say, what does that mean when a level is live? It means a level is still firmly intact, and I think it's going to impact price action going forward the next time that level is touched. Okay, now you have the catalyst coming of the jobless claims and the labor report on Friday that could potentially break those levels. And once levels are broken, you look for them to act as the opposite. So support levels then become resistance levels then become support, etc. Okay, so I want to identify these levels with you so you can draw them on your screens. Okay, so that you can start to plan your trades around when these levels are reached. The first level that I want to point out to you is 505. 505 is a very key level. There are 3 support levels that I am eyeing on the SPY. One is 505, and you guys can go and you can draw these levels out yourself. That's yesterday's low of the day here, low of the day here, low of the day here. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 touches at 505. Key level. Next key level, 503. 503 was double top high, right? This was double top all-time high. Then you had the big gap up day on NVIDIA's earnings, and the low of the day on the gap up day was 503. So you've got previous double top high, 503, gap up, holds the low, 503, big move to the upside. That's your second support level. In my opinion, this level of 503 is a stronger level than 505. Then you have a minor level here around like 498.5. But I don't really even want to focus on that one, because to me, I think you got a bigger level down here, like 497.5, and that's just the gap fill. I think the gap fill is going to play a bigger role than this minor level that we have here around 498.5. So I'm just going to, we're going to forget about that one for now. It's a minor level, but these are the 3 support levels that I am the most interested in. And I do believe that once the profit-taking pullback kicks in and you start to get a real profit-taking pullback, my target on that pullback is going to be this gap fill. I believe that this gap is going to be filled. You had the entire market gapped up and created that gap just because of NVIDIA's earnings. And you had obviously all your big mega cap tech names, your AI stocks, they all gapped up with NVIDIA. They all moved higher. The whole market moved higher. I think that gap needs to be backfilled. And I think that is coming. So these are the levels that I'm focused on and that we're looking at. Now, today, we talked about today inside of chat. And if you guys are not part of the community, then you obviously don't know about any of the questions or any of the analysis or anything that we talk about inside of chat. But our members obviously do, and our members are all there, and they can verify, all the things that I'm saying to you. But in the pre-market session today, we discussed how well that 505 level held yesterday. And you got a beautiful bottoming tail off of the 505. I'm going to delete these other lines. You guys draw these lines on your screen. So I'm going to delete the 503. Right. And I'm going to delete the 497.5. All right. So we're just going to go back to the 505, but you have those levels drawn on your screen. So when they come into play, you remember that they're there. This 505 level held beautifully yesterday. Okay. Held beautifully last week. You got this nice little tail that came in there. You kind of closed off of that level. And then you got a little bit more follow through today. And the follow through today was textbook right back into 512. I told everybody in the pre-market session, 9 o'clock in the morning, before the markets even opened, that I said, listen, I think the SPY is going to push up to 512 today. And you're going to fill in, you're going to close the gap from yesterday. So yesterday you had your first profit take pullback after a failed breakout on Friday, or a failed breakout on Monday. And then that gave you a textbook pullback. We talked about that on last night's live stream, right? We talked about textbook. I'll just go over it just one more time. You had all-time highs. All-time highs were broken on Monday, and then that breakout completely failed, rolled back down to close low of the day, back underneath the breakout point. Okay, the previous all-time high and that high of the day, that was the breakout point, and you failed to hold it and close at the lows. That's a textbook failed breakout. Completely normal that profit taking kicks in the next day. Completely normal. Okay. We were all over that profit take pullback on Tuesday. It was a big day for members inside chat, whether it was SPY options or if it was futures. We were all over that pullback down to 505. And we talked about 505. So covering shorts in front of 505, key support level. That 505 held yesterday, big rally back into the close. Then you get the gap up, and these levels are holding perfectly. So this is when trading is a whole hell of a lot of fun, because the price action is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. You see support, it holds. You see resistance, it holds. It's like this is technical trading 101. Okay. And it's been a money machine. It's been just printing for us inside of the chat. And now we said today 512. And where do you get 512 from? Well, I'm not just pulling these numbers out of thin air. 512 is gap fill and prior lows from Monday. So here's your support level from Monday. And then there's the close on Monday. Then you had the gap down. So you rally it right back up into 512. And there it is. And there's your gap fill. And there's your retest of resistance. And then what happens? You shy away from the resistance level. It's absolutely textbook. Way to go, Brendan. Brendan is 3 days green in a row off of these levels that we are talking about. These levels are holding perfectly, and it's creating some phenomenal trading opportunities for day traders and swing traders, whether you trade options, whether you trade futures, whether you trade stocks, whatever it is that you trade. This has provided some amazing opportunities these last couple of days. And, I think that there's just a lot of great action here. And there's a new level that was created today. And I want to draw it out. Let's do it. Let's do it live. 508.5, right? Now 508.5, this level was created today. Not only is it triple bottom from intraday today, but it's also afternoon resistance yesterday. So now you have a minor level. And this is, listen, I'm not going to get into right now the difference between minor and major levels and how you make that distinction. That is a lesson I'm going to cover with all of my accelerator members. But this is a minor level that comes into play here at 508.50. That level's now in play. Another minor level would then be yesterday's close and the gap fill to 507. These levels are all in play for tomorrow. Okay. There's going to be trades that are going to be structured off these levels depending on what the data is tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning, when you get the jobless claims numbers, we'll see what they actually are. Okay. We'll see what those levels, what the data is and whether it's strong, if it's weak, if we think the markets are bullish or bearish on the back of that data. And then we'll determine which of these levels we want to play off of. Because it's easy for me to just sit here and say, oh yeah, here's a level, here's a level, here's a level. But what do you do when the stock actually gets to those levels? What levels do you want to actually structure trades around? What levels do you want to get long at? What levels do you want to get short at? I'm going to wait and see what that data is tomorrow morning at 8:30 to make that determination, right? Let's see what the data is. Then we'll determine if we think it's going to be a green or red day. And then that determines whether or not we want to be shorting resistance levels or if we want to be going long at support levels. But these are the levels that are out there. These are the levels that are in play. I can delete that one. Okay. These are the levels that we're going to be focusing on here for tomorrow. Right? This is just this is charting 101. Very simple. Okay. If you don't understand any of the stuff that I'm showing you or that I'm going through, don't worry about it. If this stuff is kind of over your head or if it sounds like like I'm speaking a different language, I promise you guys, you'll learn all of this stuff as a member of True Trading Group. There are a ton of members that didn't know anything when they first joined True Trading Group, and now they're making money, right? And you don't have to take my word for it, guys. You should not just listen to the things that I say, but you just ask members themselves. Like here, members of True Trading Group, do me a favor, guys. Just go ahead, members of TTG. Type the number 1 if you guys are making money becoming better traders with True Trading Group. Just go ahead and type the number 1 if you guys are making money and becoming better traders. Don't take my word for it. Take the members' word for it, guys. They're the ones that are in your shoes. They're the ones that are using the platform, that are receiving the trade alerts, that are getting notified when our moderators enter and exit positions. There's 9 professional traders that you get notified when their positions are entered and exited in real time. You don't have to be in front of your computer screen, right? We have a mobile app that sends you real-time notifications. 82% of our members have full-time jobs. Okay. 82% of them have full-time jobs. So a lot of them just use the mobile app. They get notified on their phone when positions are entered or exited. And that's how they're able to follow along with everything that we do during the day. Today was a great day. Palantir on the long side. We caught Palantir as the day trade today, on the back of the news about a contract with the U.S. Army, but then also the swing trade paid off, I believe, over 100% gain. Another one of our moderators, Uni, she's been in Palantir for a swing trade, I believe took profit today, the swing trade for a triple-digit gain. And then I took advantage of Palantir today as a day trade. Oh, way to go. Yes, there's Arthur right there. Arthur says, I killed it twice on Palantir, 100% gain. Thank you, TTG. Yes, my boy Ozan. What's up, brother? Him too. Triple-digit gain twice from Palantir. Yes, I love it. I love it. Triple-digit gain. Was it triple-digit gain on the day trade and the swing trade? Was it the day trade and the swing? Was it the two different? Mine was swing and today day trade. Yes, Ozan. That's awesome. I love it. So we were able to catch a triple-digit gain 2 different ways on Palantir with 2 different moderators, 2 different trades. Right. So one was the day trade today, and the other was the swing trade. Congratulations, guys. That's really great. That's really great. I love that. I love that. Yep, 100% on Palantir here too while sick in bed. Jimmy, I feel you, brother. I have been dragging ass the last couple of days. I've got like this sinus infection that I'm just praying does not turn into, like, I just hope I don't get an ear infection. My ears, it sounds like I'm underwater. And it's just been, I feel the best I felt the last couple of days. Literally, I feel the best I felt literally right now. So, I mean, thank God, as I'm on here doing this live stream and I'm not, dying of a sinus headache or blowing my nose constantly. So that's good. But these guys are better than the 2000 Yankees World Series pitching rotation. Thank you, TTG. Really, Cabrera. I can appreciate that reference, brother. I can appreciate that reference. Definitely one of the greatest pitching rotations. Still, though, to this day, hands down, the greatest pitching rotations was the 90s Braves with Glavine, Smoltz, and Maddox. I mean, that's the greatest pitching rotation. Any baseball fan, I think, is in agreement with that was the greatest pitching rotation ever assembled. Those are 3 Hall of Fame legitimate ace pitchers on one pitching staff, and those guys were just unbelievable. Smoltz, Glavine, and Maddox, man. For me, that's the greatest pitching staff ever. Pitching rotation, at least. Starting rotation. The big three. But anyway. I know. Only one World Series, though. Well, that's because they kept running into the Yankees. That's because they kept running into the Yankees in the 90s. So that was, good luck there, guys. But, yeah, I know. The Yankees had it all, though. The Yankees had it all at that time period. They had the pitching, and they also their 1 through 9 was batting .300 with 20-plus home runs. It was unbelievable. 1 through 9 could hurt you. But anyway, I don't want to keep going down the sports road. There's two things that I can talk about forever, and that's stocks and sports. I can talk about that stuff always and forever. So Annie Siege, Danny says day trades primarily. Annie, honestly, and here, Kirito Loa, hold on there for a second. Kirito Loa, no, you're not. If you're on this live stream, Kirito Loa, you don't have to pay that price. So just hang on 1 second. I'll tell you how you can join. But also Ann Sieg, Realtor, we're not primarily day trades. Every single day in True Trading Group, every single day, you have day trades and swing trades called out inside of True Trading Group every day. Okay. There are 9 professional traders inside of True Trading Group that are alerting you to their trades. Some of them are day trades. Some of them are swing trades. Okay. So again, we have 10,000 members in 115 countries. 82% of those members have full-time jobs and they work over 40 hours a week. They all can't be sitting in front of their computer screen all day, every day, waiting for trade alerts, right? A lot of our members are making money while they're working full-time jobs. And I'll just hear, guys, do me a favor, members, if you guys don't mind, if you're a member and you guys are making money with us, can you just comment what you do for a living? Like, what's your profession? Just tell me what you guys do for a living. And then this way, anyone that's on here that's not a member could take a look and they can see exactly what other people do for a living. And maybe there's someone that does the same thing that you do. Maybe you're a school teacher. Maybe you're a nurse. Maybe you're a truck driver or a construction worker or a police officer. Maybe you're in the military. Whatever it is, you can take a look and see some of the comments from our members. If you guys don't mind, members, just tell me what you guys do for a living, please. Well, and there you go. Ed Deaton is also a realtor. Okay, so, and I see that you're a realtor based on your username. So Ed's a realtor. Okay. Software, boat mechanic, college custodian, engineer, educator, another truck driver, 100 miles daily. Wow. Jim Knox on the road 100 miles a day. Crazy. Summer Girl and Super Dad is actually working right now. Raghu runs a software development small business. Very nice. Arthur's in transportation, HR consulting. Okay. Thanks for the video, guys. I have a lot of respect. Mr. Squeeze, respect right back at you. Design director, right? So you guys can see, you can read some of the comments that are coming through from some of our members, just kind of telling you, hey, Trisha Hopkins, how are you? I just saw you. Electrician, personal assistant, excellent. So you're getting a feel for some of the things that some of our members do for a living. Like I said, 82% of them have full-time jobs. Okay. All right. So that is that. Now, going back to the other question from Kirota Loa. So Kirota Loa was asking about, hey, your membership, $2,212. Well, actually, if you are on this live stream, okay, you do not need to pay the $2,000. Okay. Now, if you were to just go to our website just on your own, that's the price of our membership for the full year. Today, and we will be doing this. This is the very last day that I'm doing this because the new sales page isn't ready. That's what I was doing when we first came on to the live stream. And you guys saw I was talking to our team behind it. So there's other people that are behind the scenes in the live stream. They put the messages on the screen and everything else. So I was seeing if the new sales page was ready, and the new sales page is not ready, but we are making some huge changes to the annual membership in True Trading Group. As it stands today, when you join our annual membership, you get everything included with it at no additional cost or upsell. So like when you join, you pay the membership price. That's it. You get access to all of our courses, the mobile app, the chat room, the trade alerts, all of our tools, which I'll get into in a second. Starting tomorrow, it was supposed to be today. So honestly, if there's anyone that's on here that's contemplating joining, you guys are in luck because it was supposed to be today, but the sales page just wasn't ready. It'll be live for tomorrow's live stream. Tomorrow's live stream will be offering a completely different membership where you will only be getting access to the chat room, the mobile app, the courses, the trade alerts, and 2 private study group sessions. That's it. If you want access to all of the other things on the platform, they will come at additional costs going forward. Now, what are some of those additional things that you get with your membership? Well, if you want to do yourself a favor, go to ttgoffer.com. That's ttgoffer.com. Every single item that you see on that page is included with your membership today. If you join tomorrow, those things will not be included. The only things that will be included as of tomorrow will be the courses, the chat room, the mobile app, obviously the trade alerts, and then 2 study group sessions with our mods throughout the year. Everything else is included today, additional tomorrow. So what are some of those things? You get Benzinga Pro's real-time newsfeed. Okay? Benzinga Pro's real-time newsfeed gives you real-time breaking news as soon as it crosses the wire. You're also going to get congressional trading data. That gives you that so you can track the trades that are being made by members of Congress. You're also going to get Trading View's premium charting software. The Trade Ideas scanner streams on our platform for you guys to use. There's a simulator that lets you practice trading with fake money but real-time data. There's AI trading tools and assistance. You get dark pool data, unusual options activity, options flow, short data, analyst ratings, a trading journal that tracks your trades for you, a social sentiment scanner tells you what's being talked about most on social media. Right now, today, all of those things are included with your annual membership when you join. Now, you don't have to pay the $2,000 membership price if you're on this live stream, because if you're on this live stream, I offer a coupon code that gives you a 54% discount on our membership. That coupon code is TTG121. Okay? TTG121. You have to manually type that in yourself, then click apply code. The price drops all the way down to just $1,017 for the whole year. There is no upsell or additional cost for anything that you see on that page. Okay? It's all included. You will also notice that we have still a couple of these laptops that are available. The laptop, you guys can see that in the checkout cart. Okay, we have 12 laptops this evening. So the next 12 people that join will get themselves a brand new free laptop. Today will be the very last day that we are including laptops with the annual membership. Starting tomorrow, the laptop will not be included with the annual membership. Okay? So again, we're making big changes to the annual membership. As of today, it is an all-inclusive membership. It also includes a laptop. If you join tomorrow, those items will be additional. There will be an additional cost, and there will not be a laptop included tomorrow. I want to make myself very clear. I want to be fully transparent. I don't want somebody coming to join tomorrow and saying, wait, but what about you told me this yesterday? I'm telling you now, today is the very last day for that. It was supposed to actually already be changed. Sales page wasn't ready, so I'm still using the old sales page, which gives you all these things included. You don't have to pay for the laptop. We cover the shipping costs. We ship anywhere in the world. It's a Windows 11 laptop, comes with Microsoft 365. It's free. It's yours. Use the trade with, use it for work, give it to your kid for school, sell it on eBay. I don't care what you do with it. It's yours. You don't have to enter your address when you join. You'll get a welcome email with instructions how to claim the laptop when you guys join. So be on the lookout for it. And lastly, but not least, I do offer you guys a double your money back guarantee. Okay. And if you're not interested in the laptop, Ann, send us a text message. So Ann Seeds Realtor, if you're not interested, if you don't want the laptop, send a text message to this phone number, 1-888-306-8783. Again, that's 1-888-306-8783. And the phone number is right down there at the bottom of your screen. So if you don't want the laptop, you can send a text message to that phone number. That goes for anybody else that's on this live stream right now. If you guys do not want the laptop, just text that number and say, hey, I'm interested in the membership, but I don't want the laptop, and we'll work something out with you. So, Ann, just go ahead and text that number. Anybody else that doesn't want the laptop, text that number. And if you have any questions about anything, you can also text that number to get some help. Okay? We're fully transparent. We're an open book. Anything you guys want to know, we will answer. Just text that phone number. But here's the other thing before we get into grade my stock, the next session that we're going to do, grade my stock. That's what's coming up next here. Before I get into that, I know I talk a big game on these live streams, but I back it up with my own money. I want to prove to you how serious I am about believing that our platform can help you guys reach your goals. We offer a double your money back guarantee when you join True Trading Group. It's right there on the checkout page. It's in black and white. It's real. Go read it. It's a double your money back guarantee. This is the way that it works. We base our entire company's success on the success of our members. We believe that if our members are successful, that our business will be successful. That's how we've grown from 100 members in 2017 to now over 10,000 members in 115 different countries here as we stand in 2024. It's not because we spend millions of dollars on marketing. Really, this live stream is really the only form of marketing that we essentially really do, where I tell people about our membership and some small stuff on social media. But we believe that if our members are successful, they're going to stay with us. And they do. We have a 78% retention rate. 78% of our members stay with us. Okay. But we believe if our members are successful, then not only will they stay with us, but they will also tell their friends, their family, and their coworkers about True Trading Group. And then they'll join. And then that repeats itself. How many of you guys have told True Trading Group, have told somebody about True Trading Group? How many? Type the number 2 if you have suggested to anybody, a friend, a family member, a coworker, if you suggested to somebody to check out True Trading Group, type the number 2 in chat right now. I'm going to prove to you this is our business model, right? And our business model has worked very, very well up to this point, because you can see word of mouth and member referral is our biggest form of marketing. This is how we have grown as a community, because if our members are successful, they're going to tell other people about us, and then they're going to join. Here you go. There's the proof right there. There's the proof. Now, for those of you that are still skeptical, right? For those of you that are still skeptical, that double your money back guarantee is there in case you can't make back your membership fee. That's how it works. So we base the double your money back guarantee on your success, on your P&L, not anybody else's. So when you join, you'll pay $1,017 today. Now, I ask you to do 3 things. Okay. Henry Page goes, I'm not a member yet, but I suggested it to other people already. That's awesome. Nice. Sassy goes, and they did join and they made bank today. Yes. Bert says, I got several people to join. Smooth Brain says, I tell people every day. I love it. I love it, guys. I love it. Fantastic. Nice. I have a friend that is now a member because the TTG way works, says Trevor West. American Artist says, yes, mine joined too and made money today. Fantastic. I love it. Hell yes. But you got, this is my point. This is my point. American Artist said, got 2 people to join. I love it. But this is my point, right? My point is that our members have success. And we're going to base the double your money back guarantee on your success. So here's what I ask you to do. As long as you do the following: go through our courses, pass our quizzes, and attend 1 study group. Right? We use study groups every Thursday. Attend 1. Do those things. Actually use the platform that you're subscribing to. And you have the whole year to do that. You don't have to do it all in like 14 days. Like, take your time, go at your own pace. You have the whole year to go through the courses, pass the quizzes at the end of the courses, and attend 1 study group. The whole year, right? So take your time. No rush. If after doing so, you cannot make enough winning trades to equal the $1,017 membership fee that you've paid us, you can't do that at least one time, we'll give you back $2,034, double the money that you're paying to join. Very simple. I do that because our refund rate, it's less than 2.5%. 78% of our members stay with us. And we're 5-star rated on Trustpilot with over 2,500 reviews. So I have no problem offering you double your money back just to prove to you how much that I believe in the platform that we've created. If our refund rate was like 15% of our members were asking for refunds, I wouldn't be able to give you double your money back. We'd go out of business if I was giving back 30% of our sales, right? Because a 15% refund rate, then that means if I'm giving double your money back, that's 30%, right? I wouldn't be able to do that. With True Trading Group would go out of business. We have 30 employees. I wouldn't be able, I'd tell everybody, sorry guys, you all got to go find a different job, right? So that's the deal. All right, that's what's available for anyone that wants to join here today. Now, again, before I go forward, today is the last day for the all-inclusive membership. As of today, you don't have to pay $1 extra for anything that is on ttgoffer.com. Everything there is included. And you get a laptop. As of tomorrow, starting tomorrow, that changes. As of tomorrow, the annual membership will only include the chat room, the mobile app, the courses, the trade alerts, and 2 study group sessions with our mods for the year. Anything else will carry an additional cost, and there will be no more laptops beginning tomorrow. The annual membership will no longer include a laptop. Okay? Just want to be fully transparent. Make sure that you are all aware of that, so nobody comes back to me tomorrow and says, wait. I'm telling you all now, today's the last day for the all-inclusive membership. Tomorrow it changes. Okay? That's it. If you have any questions, text us 1-888-306-8783. And again, if you guys were like if you guys are not interested in the free laptop that you do get tonight, if you're not like, you know what, free laptop sounds cool, but I don't need it, send us a text message if you don't want it. 1-888-306-8783. We'll work out something else with you if you guys don't want that free laptop. Okay? And that goes, if you have any other questions, just text us. We're happy to answer anything. We're fully transparent. We're an open book. That's why all of our trade alerts, all of our trade executions from the moderators, they're uploaded right from our brokerage accounts onto the trader history tab on our website so that all of our people can see every single order that has been executed by our traders. Okay, this way you see all of our wins, you see all of our losses, all of our break evens, you see every single thing. There's nothing to hide. We are fully transparent, folks. All right, and any questions, just text us. The phone number is right at the bottom of your screen. Okay. All right, folks. So that is that. All right. All right. Now, with that being said, you know what time it is. It's time to play Grade My Stock. It's time to play Grade My Stock. So let's go ahead and play Grade My Stock. Oh, Fernando, what's up, brother? Amgen. Yeah, it's a good one. Amgen is a good one. Amgen just failed a new all-time high breakout, which is disappointing because it happened with their earnings. So failed a breakout to its new all-time highs. And it's right back inside of this muck. I'm giving Amgen a B. I'm giving Amgen a B grade. I still like Amgen. They ran into some trouble there after their earnings report. Back underneath, failed breakout. But I do think that there's enough of a support zone in this region here from like 250 to 265. I think there's enough of a support zone there for long entries. Still a company that I like. They had a little bit of a hiccup here, but I think that they're going to be able to recover. And I think that there's just enough of a support area in the 250s, 260s that the stock currently trades 276. I'm going to give that a B grade on I'll give that a B grade on Amgen. Oh, the Palantir trade. Yeah, okay, yeah. You know what? I'll review the Palantir trade. I'll review Palantir for a second. So that's where I made some money today. We made money on Palantir today, but I will cover we will cover the trade with you guys just here quickly. And this was just about identifying buy zones on Palantir, and I'll just show you the trade that I made today. And again, I was sick as a dog today, guys. So I really was just, trading early in the morning, and then that was it for me. But what I did with Palantir today, Palantir had some news about a contract with the Army to kind of lead their Titan program And Titan is an acronym for something that I forgot off the top of my head. But good news for Palantir, and they were breaking out through a $25 resistance level, and I identified a buy zone right here, right? So right here is where we identified a buy zone in between these two levels that we saw here in the pre-market session. And this area right here that I'll highlight in green became our buy zone. And I told everybody inside a True Trading Group, hey guys, like watch for a quick pullback on Palantir off the open into this zone. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get long. So right up, this is the pre-market action. So then right off the opening bell, we pulled back right down into the buy zone, right? We pulled right into the buy zone. We went ahead and got long inside of the buy zone. And then you had a nice pop there that took you right up there to highs. And we took profits off. We took profits off into this move. And then you had this like, deeper pullback. We exited the trade. And then people that were still in the swing trade though, stayed on in this for the swing trade. And then you were able to get a nice move back up here, back up towards 26.75. I think that the candle today on Palantir actually still looks pretty good. When you sit here on the daily chart, it's a wild candle that was put in today. I mean, this is still factoring in pre-market data, but it was still a wild candle put in today. But as long as we stay above this like 25.5, 25 and a quarter, to me, that's a clean break. And I'm looking for like 27. We didn't quite get to 27 today. That was the target. 26.75 was the high of the day. But made some good money on the stock today. We're able to, get in at our buy zone and then have really nice profits. So there was the entry on the buy zone, right on that little tail. This tail right here is actually where I entered the position in here, because once we dropped into the buy zone, bang, execute the order, sit here, and then boom, you got this nice, beautiful break candle. And then we took profits into that extension to the new highs. And that was a really nice money maker for us today. Not a monster trade, nothing I'll call my mom and tell her, hey, how it was a monster day today, but made some, I mean, I don't do that. I'm just kidding. But imagine I called my mother every day. Listen, I gotta be honest with you, if I ever told my mother the way that my P&L fluctuates during the day, she'd kill me. My mother, she'd probably faint. If I was like, yeah, no, Ma, I was down, I was down $4,000 1 minute, and a couple minutes later, I'm up 12. And then she'd be like, what? She'd think I was out of my mind. My sisters too. My sisters would do the same thing. But yeah, so that was the Palantir trade. And I think it still looks good. I think it still looks good. I think you're really trying to form a base now above like 25. And I think you're really trying to form that base above 25. And we'll see if we could, get up to, this is the resistance level that I want to try to test. It's right here. See this? See all this resistance from 2021? It's like the high 20s. I mean, we're kind of there, right? Like it starts at 27 and it takes you all the way up to 29. So it's like a $2 wide resistance level. And I just feel like we can get to 27. We're almost there. I'd like to see us push a little bit further up into that zone, but that was the Palantir trade from today. Okay. All right. So back to grade my stock. What do we have up next? Oh man. NYCB, Scott. That's a D. NYCB is a D for me. I just don't, I have no desire to step in and buy. Why? Like why is really the only question that I would ask. Like of all the stocks that are out there in the market, why buy one that has a problem, right? That New York Bancorp has a problem. And news came out today that they needed a capital raise in order to shore up their balance sheet. And that's not a good thing. When a bank says we got to do a capital raise to like secure our balance sheet, that's not good, right? That's exactly what Silicon Valley Bank said 2 days before they went, 1 day before they went under. But the big difference is New York Community Bancorp was successful in their raise. They raised $1 billion. Silicon Valley was unsuccessful in their raise. But here's the question. Is the $1 billion enough? I don't know. Don't just assume just because they got $1 billion, they got $100 billion in assets under management. Okay. Just because they got $1 billion. Is that enough? I don't know. No, their management probably doesn't even know. But what I don't want is a month from now, they're like, shit, we need another $1 billion. I don't want to buy a stock. Listen, sure. If this $1 billion is enough and hey, that's great, everything's good, sure. Can the stock go back to $7? Yes. Right? Over time. Yes. But this equity is going to be diluted like crazy. This is not a stock that's just going to go right back to $13 where it came from, right? Even if this stock does well, doing well for this stock at this point is going to be going sideways. Maybe you go up to $5 or so, but any real serious upside on the stock is going to be limited and capped because of their capital restraints and their capital requirements that they need and diluting shareholders and selling equity and raising capital. And I don't want to be a shareholder of a company like that. So I'm giving it a D. And, if the company has no more problems and it goes back to 10, I essentially don't really care. I still label it as a D just because of the risk that's involved, right? Just because of the risk that's involved. It's just not something that I want to be. There's so many other better places, in my opinion, to put your money. All right. We have to welcome Assad. Assad just joined, guys, without the laptop. So Assad did not take the laptop. Everybody welcome Assad, newest member of the group. Assad, newest member of the group. Everybody welcome Assad. Guys, again, go to ttgoffer.com. Use that coupon code, TTG121. Click apply code. The price will drop down. Okay, the price will drop down to $1,017. You see the laptop, you're getting one, unless you don't want one. If you don't want one, and then you can just text us 1-888-306-8783. We can work out a different deal with you. And then don't forget, today's the last day for the all-inclusive membership. All right, you got the W money back guarantee for peace of mind. I don't think you're going to need it though. All right. Next up, I see a lot of people asking about SoFi. Full disclosure, I own SoFi, okay, from way higher prices, okay? This is one of my few losing positions in my long-term portfolio. I own SoFi from an average of around $13. The stock is currently trading $7.50. Here's what I think about SoFi. SoFi was caught in a very unfortunate situation at no fault of their own. SoFi was well on their way to the stock breaking out to new all-time highs, getting their banking charter, growing their business, and really taking the next step in their company's growth. And then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, that still wasn't that big of a problem for the company until the Biden administration came out and said, nobody has to pay back their student loans right now. When the student loan moratorium was put into place, meaning you did not have to make your student loan payments, that's a real problem for SoFi. 10 to 15% of SoFi's business comes from student loan refinancing. It's also a big way that they get new users onto their platform. And SoFi's model is you don't need a bank or a branch to bank anymore. All you need is a phone. And SoFi's is, hey, user-friendly platform that you can bank on your phone. And they're going after the young generation of brand new professionals, people that are just coming out of college, that are just entering the workforce, that have student loans. They bring them in, they refinance their student loans, and they capture that user. Now, when they capture that user fresh into their professional career, the idea is you build that brand loyalty with that customer. And as they become higher income earners throughout their professional career, you then can give them other banking products. It's a great business model. Okay. And I like the company. I like the CEO. I like their platform. I like what they're doing. But they got their legs cut out from underneath them, not because they fumbled the ball or because they did not execute. They did everything right. They got their bank charter. They're continuing to get new users onto their platform, even though they lost that entire segment of their business. And the student loan kept getting pushed back, and the student loan moratorium where you don't have to make your payments, it was like, oh, we're going to do it for this much time. And then it would come up to be over, and then it was extended. They extended it 3 or 4 times from when it was supposed to end. Oh, no, we're going to extend it again. We're going to extend it again. We're going to extend it again. And you just got investor fatigue on the stock, where investors just got tired of holding on to the name. The stock really got pummeled and was hurt by it. But even in the wake of that, now you have, okay, now student loan payments have started again, but there's billions of dollars of student loan debt that's being canceled and is being forgiven. And that's not good. So none of that is good for SoFi. So that's why I'm not selling the stock, even though, I own it from like $13. I'm not selling it because I just feel like if they're able to weather this storm and if they're able to come out of this and turn the corner, I really feel like this company could do well in the future. But it's just a very, very unfortunate situation that is really not their fault. I really feel like if that never happened, this is a $25 stock, maybe even a $30 stock, if that never happened. So I'm going to stick around here for a little bit longer. I'm not adding to the position because I don't know how much this has hurt them. Just because I'm down on the stock does not mean I'm going to add to it. It's a small position in my portfolio compared to a lot of the other positions that I have, obviously, but I'm not adding to it. I don't plan on making it a bigger position just because it's at 750 and I own it from 13. I'm just, hey, you know what? I'll ride it out. I'll see what happens. We'll see if the company's able to recover. Okay. So that's my thoughts there on SoFi. So for that, I give it maybe a B- to a C+. Not something that I'm willing to buy more of, but also not something I'm selling, if that makes sense. Rivian, I hate Rivian. Rivian's a D. I hate Rivian. I've just disliked all of these EV companies since the beginning of time. If we went back to 2021 during all the craze, everybody would ask me about Rivian. They asked me about Workhorse. They asked me about Ride. They asked me about NIO. My answer regarding EV stocks from 3 years ago till today has never changed. My answer to every single question that people ask me about electric vehicles is I do not like any of these stocks besides Tesla. That has always been my stance. Anyone that's watched these live streams knows that has been my stance for the last 3 years. Okay. I just believe that the automobile industry simply is not big enough for you to have all these brand new companies plus the existing brands. Everybody was acting like when Rivian went public, when Lucid completed their SPAC, people were acting as if Rivian and Lucid were the only companies making electric vehicles. Guys, Ford, General Motors, okay, BMW, Audi, Mercedes, Volkswagen, Honda, they are all making electric vehicles. I do not believe the electric vehicle industry, it's not even the electric vehicle industry, it's the automobile industry. I do not believe the automobile industry is big enough for all of your current auto manufacturers to eat and all of these brand new companies that popped up out of nowhere for them to eat too. There's just not enough people there's just not enough cars being bought. That's my thought. It's not even about electric vehicles. Forget electric vehicles. Let's just look at cars in general. Let's go back 10 years and let's pretend electric vehicles don't exist. There's no electric vehicles. No one's even further than that. Let's just go back to a time where there's no electric vehicles. If I said to you, okay, guys, we have the automobile industry, right? You have all your big automobile names, but 10 brand new brands are coming into the market. Do you think that those 10 new brands are going to be able to succeed? What would you have said? So let's go back and let's say you have BMW and Audi and Mercedes and Volkswagen and Honda and Hyundai and Kia and all of your brands, right? And I said, okay, well, you've got look at some of these other companies that tried to remember Daewoo? Remember Daewoo? That was a brand new company that came into the market, right? Remember Daewoo? Remember Scion? Remember Scion? So these are like a lot of these brands that like they kind of came out of nowhere. They started to gain some traction. And then all of a sudden they kind of just like fizzled out and some of them got acquired. Some of them failed, right? I just don't think that all of these companies are going to be able to survive together. If there's anything that we learned from Tesla's journey is that building an electric vehicle company is extremely capital intensive. It requires a tremendous amount of money. It's very hard to become profitable. And I just think that I am not the type of investor that's going to say, okay, there's 10 companies. I got to pick the one that's going to make it. Why do I want to do that? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'd rather say, hey, I'm super bullish on the entire semiconductor sector and not have to worry about picking the right one because 90% of them are going higher. You take a look at electric vehicle stocks, they are the worst stocks in the entire market. Look at these charts. There's NIO. There's Lucid. There's Rivian. Here's Fisker. They're doing great. Here's Workhorse, in case you need to check in on a company that went I'm sorry. I try not to curse. That went complete bust, right? Ride, another company, went complete bust. These are the worst stocks in the entire market. Okay? I have no intention on owning these companies. The only electric vehicle stock that I own is Tesla. The only one that I can see myself owning is Tesla. Now, Rivian, let me tell you something. What happens? You tell me. You answer this question for me. What happens to Rivian if Amazon leaves their contract? You give me the answer to that question. If Amazon says we're actually signing a deal with, I don't know, General Motors, what happens to Rivian? Anybody want to take a guess? What happens if Amazon walks away from Rivian? That's how fragile that company is, or how fragile that. And even with the Amazon contract, the stock's at all-time lows. They're at all-time lows, even with Amazon's delivery trucks. So, like, that's not a company that I want to invest my money into. Could they turn a profit and Amazon quadruples their order and UPS buys their trucks from Rivian and everybody and DHL buys their trucks from Rivian? Could that happen? Yeah, sure. That could happen. And you're going to come back and you're going to play this video clip and you're going to say, Mike, you were an idiot, right? That's what would happen. But I'm not willing to put my money into a company that I believe is completely and solely reliant on a contract with Amazon. That's me. So I don't like any of these electric vehicle stocks. I think everybody's way too excited about electric vehicles. I think that transition is going to take such an incredibly longer amount of time than people are anticipating. And I just don't see it. I don't see these all of these other outside brands. I don't see them surviving. I said this 3 years ago. I said 3 years ago, and I got to go back and find the video because I did a live stream, and I remember it very, very specifically where I said Workhorse, Ride, and Fisker. I said, I think those are going to be the first companies to fail. Why did I say Fisker is going to be the first company to fail? Because that company's already gone bankrupt twice before. So obviously completely incompetent. I'm like, they're going to fail again. My money says they fail. And what happened to Fisker? It's a 40 cent stock, right? Just a complete dumpster fire. Then you have Workhorse, done, dead, garbage, company's done. Ride, done, dead, garbage, company's dead. So I got to go back and find that video. So those companies have already failed, right? Rivian is still chugging along. Lucid is still chugging along. They're still in business. Okay. But I mean, come on. Lucid's at all-time lows. Rivian's at all-time lows. Does everybody realize that the market is at an all-time high and these stocks are at all-time lows? Yeah. Nikola too. To be fair, I didn't say that Nikola would be one to go under, but Nikola, 70 cents. Come on. There's so many other better places to put your money. That's why I'm giving the entire electric vehicle sector a D. And then if you're asking me about Fisker, Rivian, I mean Fisker, Ride, Workhorse, those are Fs, but the rest of them are all Ds. Lucid, I think the Saudis just take that company private. I don't know why they're still a public company. The Saudis own over 65% of that company now, and they continue to pour money into this company. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it. Their cars are way too expensive. And I'm sorry, if someone's going to spend $150,000 on an electric vehicle, on a car, it's not going to be an electric vehicle. If they're going to spend 150 grand, they're going to buy a Range Rover. They're going to buy a 7 Series. They're going to buy a Mercedes S-Class. They're not going to buy a Lucid. And their cars are so expensive. Oh yeah, Mullen too. Mullen's a piece of crap. Mullen's another garbage company that is completely zero, nothing. So I think Lucid eventually goes private. And I think that the Saudis just take over complete ownership of the company and buy out the rest of the remaining shares and take the company private. It hasn't benefited them to be a public company at all. All of their capital raises have come through the Saudis anyway. So the Saudis, if I'm them, just buy out the rest of the shares, take the company private, and just let it operate. What the Saudis love to do, the Saudis love to spend a tremendous amount of money, never intending on getting a return on that capital. They do it for publicity reasons. Okay. Live Golf, prime example. Live Golf, bringing Cristiano Ronaldo into the Saudi soccer league. They do these things just to build up their image and their publicity as a nation. They don't actually try to return a positive gain. You can't afford to give $100 million to all of the Live players and then still expect to turn a profit with Live Golf. They're not intending to turn a profit. They just want the notoriety and the attention. And I feel like this is a prime example of a super high-end luxury brand, which Lucid is in electric vehicle space. Take them private and let that be your electric vehicle, high-end, Ferrari type of brand. I think that's what the Saudis are going to end up doing with this company. So I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in the next 1 or 2 years, this company goes private. Those are my thoughts, but we'll see. Next up, Palo Alto, a stock that is in my long-term portfolio. Is there more downside for Palo Alto? I think so. I think a little bit more. You got kind of buyer fatigue on Palo Alto as far as their customers. They had really bad earnings. The stock rallied because of the cyber hack that happened a couple days later, and now the stock's right back to where it came from. So I do think there's a little more downside here on Palo Alto, but for me, this is an A. For me, it's an A, and I want to be a buyer. Well, I already am a shareholder of Palo Alto, but Back inside of this range, I think, is a decent spot to be snagging and picking the stock up. Cybersecurity, I'm very bullish on cybersecurity. So the 3 cybersecurity stocks that I own are Palo Alto, CrowdStrike, and Fortinet. These are the 3 that I own. Wow, I didn't realize that CrowdStrike gave back the whole gap, the whole earnings gap up. So those are the 3 cybersecurity names that I own. All right, I'm going to give that an A. I just think they're a little overheated. Snowflake, great. This is a great one. I'm glad you guys are asking me about Snowflake. Snowflake is another company that's in my long-term portfolio. I own Snowflake from just underneath $117. $116.84, $116.83, I believe, is my price. I am extremely disappointed with what just transpired a couple days ago with Snowflake. Snowflake came out with their earnings. Their earnings were actually, they were top and bottom line beats. They beat earnings per share. They beat on revenue. But the CEO stepped down. Very disappointed to hear that. So Snowflake has gotten beaten up on the back of this. I really liked Frank Slootman. Frank Slootman was the CEO. He's going to stay on as chairman of the board, but I don't understand why he stepped down. Snowflake was just getting started. So that's concerning to shareholders when a CEO steps away like that, kind of out of nowhere. Why? Why are you stepping away? I'm not adding to the stock. I own it from just under, like I said, underneath 117 is where I own it from. Right now it's 167. I'm not adding to it right now. I want to see how the company does under this new CEO. I want to see how they go the next couple of quarters. And I want to hear this person speak. I want to see them interviewed. I want to hear them on conference calls. I want to see the direction and the leadership that this person has. I don't know who this person is. I liked Frank Slootman a lot. I watched him talk many times. I listened to him speak on conference calls. I've seen him interviewed on different news networks and speaking at conference engagements and everything else. So I really liked Frank Slootman. I'm disappointed to see him walk away, as are a bunch of other shareholders, which is why the stock is down as much as it is on the back of that announcement. Their earnings guidance, it could have been better, right? They didn't give great guidance, but it wasn't like down 25% on the stock bad. A lot of this is, hey, what's going on here with the shakeup at the CEO position? One thing that you guys should remember, when you're investing in a company, you're not just investing in their product or their service, you're investing in the management team, because it doesn't matter how good a product or service is if the management team is not capable of bringing it to market as efficiently as possible. You can have the cure for cancer, but if you have an incompetent management team, it's never going to see the light of day. So I'm disappointed to see it. That's why I'm not adding to the position. Mara and Riot, these are C minuses for me. I'm not a big fan of the Bitcoin miners. I don't think you can be a long-term fan of Bitcoin miners. I mean, just think about how mining Bitcoin works. First of all, you have the halving that's coming up. So that means that Bitcoin mining is going to become harder and less profitable for miners. That when you mine for Bitcoin, you're now going to be getting less Bitcoin when you have a successful mining transaction, right? You're going to be getting less. So that's not good for mining companies. I was looking at Mara going into their earnings as a potential short squeeze. I talked about it a lot on this YouTube channel about, guys, if Mara gets through $32, watch out for a short squeeze. Like 36% of the float is short, somewhere around there. This was right around the time that Bitcoin was rallying. And with that size of a short float, if they had good earnings and they cleared that resistance, you could have got a real serious short squeeze. Turns out their earnings were a disaster, or not a disaster, but a disappointment. They missed on earnings. It was not a great earnings report. The stock gapped down, and the stock has been coming under pressure ever since. So you've been kind of selling off here after that earnings report, even though Bitcoin has been flying, right? Bitcoin's flying, testing all-time highs, and Mara is actually pulling itself back over the last week. Pulling it back over the last week. But then also and I don't know if this is just maybe my ignorance when it comes to this topic, but from my understanding, right, there's a finite amount of Bitcoin. So eventually, there will be no more Bitcoin that could possibly be mined. Now, I think that won't happen until 2035 or something like that, or 20. It's a long time down the road, right? But the way that the Bitcoin works is the more Bitcoin that's mined, the harder it becomes to mine more until the very last Bitcoin is mined. I believe it's 22 million Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken, right? So if you're a Bitcoin miner, doesn't that mean your job is only going to get harder and harder and harder as time goes on? And the only way to counteract that would have to be Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin going higher. So if the amount of Bitcoin that you mine is cut in half, then the only way to offset that is to either drastically reduce your prices, which is going to be hard because it's very capital intensive to mine for Bitcoin, or the price of Bitcoin, the asset that you're mining, doubles. So if the amount you get is cut in half, the price has to double in order for you to be back to zero. Now, could the price of Bitcoin from here double? Of course it can. But think about it from a long-term hold perspective. Compare that to NVIDIA, AMD, Meta, right? Compare that to those companies that have where you're looking at the future of AI with virtual reality and everything else and quantum computing and all of that. Think about that future and the growth potential there for those companies. And then look at if you're a Bitcoin miner, fast forward 10 years from now. Is it going to be easier for them or is it going to be harder for them? And just from my understanding, and I don't claim to be a crypto expert. I'm the first person to tell you that I'm not a crypto expert. But from the way that I understand this, that's not good for a Bitcoin mining company, unless I'm not understanding it correctly. So I don't own these stocks. I have zero intention on owning them. I'll trade these stocks. They're great stocks to trade. They're fun to trade, but I do not own them in the long-term portfolio, Mara, Riot, and I have zero intentions on ever owning them in my long-term portfolio. Apple. Apple's an A. I know the stock has been going down for the last 3 days, and rightfully so. They've had really disappointing numbers in China. And I talked about this yesterday, where Huawei is stealing market share from Apple. Now, China has been a real disappointment coming out of COVID. They've been one of the weakest economies, or one of the most disappointing economies coming out of COVID. That's hurt Tesla. That's hurt Apple. And with Apple losing 24%, I believe it was, down, their iPhone sales were down around 24%. And they directly said it's because of Huawei and the growing popularity with Huawei phones in China. China is no longer the growth driver that it once was for Apple. And everyone's really focused on China. What I don't think anybody is focused on, though, is India. I am very bullish on India. I am long India in my emerging markets portfolio. I think India is about to go through a huge boom in their economy over the next decade. And I own some India-related ETFs. Just some of these, like IDA. This is an India ETF. INDL is a triple leverage ETF. There's a bunch of these different India ETFs, but I'm bullish on India. over the next decade. So I actually own India in my emerging markets portfolio, and Apple is just getting into India. So I actually think that Apple is going to be able to experience a new growth driver with India, similar to what China did for them many, many, many years ago. I believe that India can replace that growth, because Apple, they just opened their first store, was last year when Tim Cook was there, did the ribbon cutting and everything for the first brick and mortar retail store for Apple, just opened in India. So for me, I think that there's just a huge opportunity there with the second largest population in the world, what I think is going to be a booming economy over the next decade. I think that there's a lot of growth there for Apple in India. So I think you take advantage of the weakness because of China, and you take advantage of that for the potential strength from India down the road. Okay. And that's it, folks. That wraps things up here. NNDM, someone says NNDM was a favorite of yours years ago. Are you still bullish for the long term? Lynn, never once in my life did I ever say that NNDM was a favorite of mine. NNDM was what we call like a growth flyer, which is what I've always called it. So when you have a long-term portfolio, you have to look, all the stocks are not created equal. Okay. All stocks are not created equal in your long-term portfolio. You have the companies that deserve your bigger positions and the larger amounts of your capital. Those are the solid, strong, fundamentally sound companies that are not going anywhere. Then you have these other companies that are much, much, much younger, much smaller, that have thousands of % gain potential, but could also go belly up and you lose 100% of your money. A company like Microsoft, Meta, right, NVIDIA, AMD, all of that, those are companies that are fundamentally sound, that are not going anywhere, that those companies will get a much larger piece of your capital. Okay. Then you have smaller companies like SoFi is a perfect example. SoFi for me is a much smaller position. It's a fraction of the positions that I have in like NVIDIA and AMD and CrowdStrike and Broadcom, et cetera, right? JP Morgan, these are all other stocks that I own. A fraction of the position size and the amount of capital that's in those names would be in like a SoFi. I did buy NNDM years ago. I bought NNDM back in 2021, and then I sold it at the end of 2021 for tax loss harvesting. So this was a losing position in the long-term portfolio for me. I think I bought around like $8, and then I sold it around like $4 for tax loss harvesting. But this was always a very small position in the portfolio. These are the flyers that you take. It's like, okay, well, I'll take a small position on the name, and if it grows into the company that it has the potential to become, the stock could be at $30, $40 in a couple of years, and you make thousands of % instead of 100, right? But this is also the type of a company that you can lose 50, 60, 80, 90% on your position. I no longer own this stock. I don't have any intention on buying it back. The company wasn't able to deliver at following the initial hype that you saw in 2021. There was a lot of hopes and dreams and empty promises that the company did not execute on, and the management team was not able to fulfill their their business plan that they set forward. Now, if you're looking at it now, I just see a massive support level at $2. If you want to own it at $2 and just see if you get a bounce from $2 and just put a stop loss underneath $2, you have a huge support level at $2. So if you want to own it, you have this massive support at $2. You can own it here, and who knows? Maybe you can get a quick pop to $4, make an 80% rip. Otherwise, if it breaks $2, you exit your position. Okay, but I do not own this name. Okay. But that's very important to you guys understand that you do not put the same amount of capital into each name. At least I don't. I mean, you do whatever you want with your money, right? But for me, I don't put the same amount of capital into every position that I have in my long-term portfolio. My biggest positions currently by dollar amount are Microsoft, Apple, NVIDIA. Microsoft, Apple, Meta, NVIDIA, Amazon, Alphabet. I believe that's my top 6 right now as far as dollar amounts. Okay. So just so you guys understand. Okay. All right, guys, that's it. That wraps things up for me. I'm going to try to get a good night's sleep. Like I said, I've been battling like a sinus infection these last couple of days. I actually feel the best I felt right now. So I'm hopeful that maybe by tomorrow I could be back to kind of full strength here in a day or so. But that wraps it up for us. Yes, I do own Tesla. Ashlesh, I do own Tesla. I have no intention on selling it. I do own Tesla. So yeah, guys, I will. That wraps things up for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Don't forget, today is the very last night. I have the saline spray, Casual Fool. Actually, I did it today. I have the saline spray. Thank you, though. That wraps it up for me. Today's the last day for the all-inclusive membership. Go to ttgoffer.com. Use the coupon code TTG121. Click apply code. The price drops down to $1,017. Everything you see on ttgoffer.com is included with your membership. After today, beginning tomorrow, you will not be getting those things included with your membership. There will be additional costs and additional fees for all of those tools and resources that you guys wish to have. And there will be no more laptops. So tonight you have until midnight to go to ttgoffer.com, use the code TTG121, click apply code, price drops down 54%. You see a laptop, you're getting one. You got the double your money back guarantee that I don't think you need, but is there for peace of mind. Text us with any questions, 1-888-306-8783. Okay, phone number is right down there at the bottom of your screen. All right. Thanks for tuning in tonight, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys have not done so already. I will see you all in chat.